Welcome in, everybody, to another SNHU esports broadcast. Today, NECC Valorant. SNHU is trying to protect their undefeated record that they've held so far, but if there's ever going to be a team that would provide a challenge to that, it would be California State University Domingo Hills. I'm Kresnik, bringing this game to you with Suton. Both teams holding an undefeated record here. I think this is it. This is the one that's going to determine who's going to stand on top of this division when this game's over.
Exactly. I'm really excited for tonight's match. We've definitely done our homework. We've definitely prepared for this match as much as possible, and we've definitely scrimmed. We've worked as hard as we can for this match, and we want to continue to have that undefeated record. So should be a really good match tonight. They're definitely a strong team, obviously from the record, but I believe we are too. So yeah, I'm ready for tonight's match.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, I do have the map list for what we're going to be seeing tonight here. We're going to be starting on Haven. We're going to be attacking first. After that, Ascent will be map number 2, where we will begin on defense. And if it goes to a map 3, and of course it's going to go to a map 3, I'm here. It's going to be Bind on defense for SNHU. So pretty standard, I would say, from what we'd expect. I mean, no split, no icebox. It's as about normal as you'd get, I think, for a Valorant map in a game with only 5 maps, as it is. And I heard a noise in the background, not sure if you could hear it, but now you have the visuals to back that one up. We are heading into Game Haven. We map 1, and we can also see the compositions here, so nothing crazy for SNHU. We do see Jade on that Cypher. That's something that, we'd seen Zoned play the Cypher before. That's a slightly, I want to say, new thing. And looking at the comp coming out of CSUDH, we have a Breach, we have a Jet, that good old flash and dash setup, and the single duelist composition coming out from them.
Yeah, you mentioned the Jade pickup here with for Cypher, and it's something that we've actually been working on for the last about a week or two, and he's definitely feeling a lot more comfortable on this pickup. It's going to be exciting to see how well he plays here, but I think Cypher is a pretty genuinely simple, I think, champion or agent to start playing, but it can take a lot to master really the locations for his spots and how to utilize his cages effectively. So I expect a lot here from Jade. I think we're going to see something pretty well.
Yeah, I think Jade, we'll see how that Cypher will perform. He's holding the bomb, holding defensively here. Lawn gets the better of Zoned in the initial fight. The IGL down, and 3 kills already to CSUDH. The members on the side of SNHU will have to disengage now in a 2 versus 5. Wheezy gets one and gets out for free, thanks to that dismiss, but I don't know if they realize that Sova is fairly pushed up on that right side. No info to be gained from that camera. They saw that one go down, but that gives the information to SNHU that they need. In a 2v4 situation, there's nothing to save. What do you think the best course of action is here?
I think they definitely want to go utilize maybe a push, maybe towards A or C side. Obviously, they don't know that CSU here is huddled all around mid, but they definitely want to probably try to utilize Wheezy's low health, maybe try to bait him a little bit to see if Jay can pick up a few kills here. But this can turn around very, very easily if Wheezy gets a pick. I think he might have a heal left over if he gets a nice headshot on someone. And it could be a 2v3 situation with Wheezy at full health, but I don't know if they're going to catch the Jet here. And he does not have the heal though, but it's going to be a 2v3 situation with SNHU taking sight for free here.
They're going to get the spike down. Wheezy doesn't see the member there. It looks like the shock dart actually misses. Now this push will come in, but Jade had to run away from the site. Didn't want to take that duel. Just Wheezy there. Gets the recon, but that gives his position away. Here comes the eye in the smoke. They're all just spamming here, but this turret, honestly, this Killjoy turret might be what seals the deal for him, and he can't find that defender. Maybe he can hold on to his life. That won't happen either. Chris, for the win, pushes his team for the win, 1-0 to start this off from Domingo Hills.
Yeah, that was a nice play there from Wheezy. Definitely a nice flick there in the garage. They at least got the money for the plant, and they still, it was still a decent round for something where they were losing it pretty early. So not bad at all. I really liked the way that CSU kind of utilized their spacing mid. They got a lot of picks there early. So let's see if they're going to be continuing to do that sort of method, or if they're going to be playing more site heavy, maybe towards A and C, which we've seen a lot of different teams utilize. But right now their mid control is seeming to be really strong.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see things change in that direction just because pistol round, you know, you generally want to be more aggressive, but they can stay aggressive. They have the SMGs, and SNHU are stuck a little bit further back in this economy. Wouldn't be able to get that one either. Bobek on the disengage. Only one member left. It is zoned, and not a single member will go down for Domingo Hills. I think, guys, to be expected. They had guns. SNHU held on a little bit, but this could be the round where SNHU has a chance here. We're assuming it's a bonus buy for the members on Domingo Hills. They'll hold on to those SMGs while SNHU will be walking out with Vandals and Phantoms.
And we're seeing CSU right now, they are rotating. They are swarming these sites very early on. I think it's really common to see a lot of teams start to play really fast on Haven. Just on the early rounds, they're trying to play fast with their pistols. But as this game goes on, I think we're going to see both sides kind of slow down. Maybe we're not going to see CSU rotate as quickly, but we're seeing it right here. SNHU's playing a little bit more slow, but I wonder if CSU is going to full rotate off of this early info that they have, which they seemingly are doing.
The recon made that happen, I think. They saw people with the recon. They start moving, but I think once they realize they stop hearing noise over on A side from SNHU, they will disengage, and they have Lawn very close to see that. Blinded on the edge of the dark cover, couldn't find him. Snare couldn't react in time, and Wheezy will fall as well. Both duelists meeting their maker in the box in mid. Several smokes getting dropped there as well. Looks like Zoned maybe looking for something. He sees players over there and gets tagged, but he'll still throw out that paranoia and maybe push for it. He also jukes the recon bolt, so they don't have this info, but I think they have an inkling that he might be here. Dongle reloads for the peek. Zone doesn't get it, but he gets the second re-peek by him, so now they know there's a chance for this, and the Jet seems to realize that as well. The shock dart knocks Zone fairly low. Really teleport onto the other side of the site. Doesn't know that there's two members here, both sitting in the dark cover, can't react in time. Frenchie will get the trade. Doesn't realize that is there either. They will pick up that spike. They will get it down, and it's a 2 versus 3 with Lawn on the flank.
I really hope they see this person on the flank, and they do. Thank goodness they have. But it's going to be a 2v3 situation here. I think I don't know if I like this or not. They're taking garage control and kind of giving up sight here. They're going to have to play to retake the bomb that they just planted, and it's going to be really difficult here for Frenchie to do that. Nice pick up there, though.
Do they have the shock dart lineup? That's the question here. It looks like his mic actually bugged out, but he has to get the spray through the crate. He can't rotate in time. The angle not there. Possible by Frenchie, but maybe would have lost that aim duel anyway. I have been there. Does Frenchie use a death adder? Serious question. Do you know?
I'm not too sure.
Because I've had that exact same thing happen. You're not staring at the ground unless a piece of dirt or a hair flew into your mouse sensor when you're trying to turn near the end. Unfortunate for Frenchie, and Domingo Hills will pick up another.
This is a very strong performance here early from CSU, and I think they're seeing a lot of these picks. Again, I think it was their Silva player from CSU, there's Lon. He's getting a lot of these early picks early on towards mid, and you see him playing on B site right now with the Omen. They actually are stacking 2 towards B, and I think this is a nice setup for them defensively. They're just taking mid control. They're going to find another pick here on Snare, but Weezy able to get the trade.
Yeah, Lawn going down for that one. That will actually give a rifle to SNHU as well, so they can play off of that. Dominguez Hills sitting back for now, waiting for this push. There was a second breach flash, so maybe some utility out. Nothing found with this camera, though. The Owl drone will have to make up for that potentially as another breach flash comes in. That's a lot of utility being burned early, and a lot of utility finding nothing other than his own death at the other end. Frenchie does get traded out there, though. They'll have to cage off that choke point and all find their way in through garage. DCMH and everyone running away, but it's a great flank from the Killjoy, knocking the spike down as well. Both of these players are stuck, and it's only Wheezy remaining. Wheezy has done great plays before. That's one of them right there. He'll heal for the peak, but a headshot goes right through all of that extra HP. DCMH wins that one. Wheezy knocked down, and another round on the board for CSU.
I would have really liked to see, they had the numbers advantage there. It was, I think, a 4v3 situation, and they could have maybe just left to garage, maybe try to go through to a long. After seeing that op on C site, I would have really liked to see something like that. But unfortunately, CSU, they're doing a great job here on kind of an attacker-favored map on Haven, and they're holding really strong.
Yeah, I think they're playing it very well so far, and it looks like they might have to read on this new play here with all the members stacked in. There comes the flash dash, and they're smoked off. They can't find anything. 3 kills, the aggressive play from Dominguez Hills wipes them all out for now. Still 2 people left. They bait the jet in, but Bobek is winning it, and they're running it down that Omen all the way in to the T spawn. What an aggressive play by Dominguez Hills, but that's what you get afforded by running that breach jet.
Yeah, the breach jet, you can do this with a couple of different combos, the Omen jet, just anything with a flash, but I think breach jet is the ultimate combo right now for the flash and dash. It's very difficult to counter, especially if you're not expecting it, and I think CSU just had a really good read there on SNHU, seeing that they pushed up C long, and I think right now, having this 5-0 lead, they're definitely in the driver's seat for this match so far on game 1.
Yeah, I can agree 100%, and we'll see if that continues here. They saw the paranoia was coming, and they get angled there. Great pen kill by Lon, and I don't think they can find anything else. So much utility being spent in mid. Lon will walk away with his life for now, even with all those bullets there. As Zoned also ends up going down. They'll rotate back, but it's only 2 now, with Wheezy also getting picked off 2 versus 5. Make it 1. Lon manages to get that. We'll get an ult out of it, though. Jade picking up that orb. This Cypher ultimate can help them significantly here, but he seems to know just where he is since he took down that Killjoy turret. This camera probably won't help him too much as the members begin to get closer. He's got to get off that cam right about now. Doesn't have that info, doesn't win that duel either. The rifle gives Chris the advantage they need, and a 6-0 defending half so far for Dominguez Hills.
Yeah, this is looking really rough here for SNHU early. I think CSU definitely came to this match prepared, ready to hit some headshots. They're hitting a lot of these early shots on them, and especially just I think they're playing very aggressive here on defense. We see that flash and dash through C long. We see them pushing up mid, looking for these picks. We see them pushing up towards even A long here in sewers, but they're just playing a very aggressive game. They're peeking with flashes and playing smart with these peaks, and they're just hitting a lot of these headshots early on.
Yeah, I want to see some ults get used by SNHU because they have all 5 of them. By the way, looks like that sound cue got picked off because look at this rotation right now from the members of Dominguez Hills. They are all here, and they might actually take Zoned off guard. I don't know if he knows. He is sitting in hell. Not sure if he knows to spray through that floor. They're holding in that dark cover. Frenchie gets the first one here, and they get that spike down. Only 2 ults spent. The Empress and the teleport from the Omen. Looks like the Cypher ultimate will happen as well, but the Blade Storm from Bobek lets him get 1 snare, and Jade get their first kills on the board in this round, so now it's a 2 versus 1. It's DCMH holding close by, fakes that defuse, gets his location revealed, feeds the dragon here as well, also misses that recon. They're playing their time very well here on SNHU. Does DCMH know that he's in that left corner? Looks like he doesn't have an idea.
Nice.
Jade, even though Frenchie loses that duel, Jade makes up for it pretty quickly. 2 kills on the board, both for Snare and Jade, their first ones in the round, and it looks like that's what'll make the difference.
That was a great cross angle there from Jade and Frenchie. I'm glad Jade was able to get in that corner before that gunfight happened, especially because he was only at 40, 50 health. But that was a great round there. I thought they played fast towards A short, towards A long, and they were able to take site control fairly easily. I mean, we see CSU, they're kind of holding very heavily towards mid with these double players on B, and they're kind of letting up on A site. So if SNHU utilizes maybe their A push a little bit more, they might find more value out of it. But right now they're going to look at site control. Nice pickup here from Zone, finally able to win a gunfight mid.
Yeah, picking out Lon, but losing the next one too, DCMH. With great play on that repush. Now it looks like the members are starting to collapse. Snare, though, his dash gets caught, but he still catches DCMH off guard as they move into the site. You saw him, Jade. You can't stick the plant like that. Chris had the angle. Chris still is controlling it and downs the spike as well. 2-3 now. The Snare pushing for that Killjoy. Manages to get it, but he has to win quite a few more fights for it. Nalgo won't let it happen. The Breach and the Jet. The duo rotating over from C site and reclaiming B for Dominguez Hills.
Not sure about the plant position there. I think you said it yourself. Jade saw him. They were planting straight for A-Link, and they didn't clear A-Link at all. I would have rather see them plant maybe for mid-window, maybe towards even C-Link, because we had just got a pick there and it was heavily smoked off. But I think that was just poor execution from SNHU there, and nice angles from CSU to be able to hold that and just play calm, wait for them to push into their cursors and get a free pick.
I mean, and that's kind of the weakness, right, of playing towards B site. The fact that the A and the C players can just sandwich you as the round goes on. But looks like they'll make this decision again. The big difference here being that Blade Storm. A second dark cover They're going to back up, and that looks almost like a shotgun in the hands of Lon, but where does he go? He teleports, it looks like just on top of that high ground to the left as he keeps holding close here. No one in SNHU willing to really dip their foot in the water, but Dominguez Hills are playing very defensively this round, a bit of a change.
I like the slow play here. I think it's kind of messing up CSU a little bit. You see the Sova rotating over to A site into A. Not really knowing exactly where they could hit, but you're going to see the Killjoy rotate over now as they get here on the garage push. Really how to play the path if they want to get this. They're a nice pickup here on the entry. It's going to be a 4v4 situation.
And he gives the op to his teammate too, but he has to be really careful about the shotgun that's going to be in here. Oh, he's going to walk right into him. No way to see that judge coming in the corner. Lon will likely push for more. It looks like he will, but point-blank operator shot by Zone equalizes that one. But Dongle will win that fight against him. It is the judge, whatever gun Frenchie's holding on to. Now only the Sheriff that Frenchie's holding on to. Frenchie's a good player, but a 1v3 Sheriff only. Very unrealistic for a lot of players, and DCMH will make sure that remains the case. 8-1, continuing to grow this gap between these two teams off the back of great defensive rotations.
Yes, I think a large story of this first half is definitely the rotations here from CSU. They're utilizing their info very, very well, and you're seeing their entire team is just, they're constantly moving. They're constantly looking for info. They're constantly trying to create either space for themselves to push, or they're closing the space between each of their allies, and they're doing so very easily with their defensive hold here, with Killjoy just setting up solely on A. And I think we're going to see SNHU here attack A site once again, noticing that their only round they've won so far is A site. They have to play this fast. They know that they could potentially get this fight for free almost, like they did the other round, but we're going to see if they're going to do the same thing here.
And what a read from Dominguez Hills. Again, they had that breach knock-up hitting them on the way to slow them down, letting them all set up, but they're kind of giving A up, interestingly enough. They're playing very slow. I think almost exclusively to play off of Lon's flank here, right? This bomb will likely go down. Maybe the shock dart denies things a little bit more, but this Killjoy ult is really the core. So the retake zone,
nice
the rehold's aggressive, takes down 2. They're going to have to back up all the way over here, but they'll use the Hunter's Fury just to slow down that refight potential. But here comes the flank from Lon. Has the LMG, but only manages to find 1. It's all on Chris. Let's see how much for the win he can actually get. Halfway through the defuse, doesn't even matter. Jade, perfect timing on that one. With only 2 rounds left in a half, Stu managed to get one, and it's every round at this point is important.
Yeah, and if we can go with an 8-4 split here, we're not looking half bad. It's just, what a great defensive round here from CSU. They've definitely practiced this map quite a bit. They definitely throw this map quite a bit. I mean, we saw that was very poised play there, I think, for them last round. They've definitely practiced that a few times. And you could tell the Killjoy gave up sight, waiting to put down Spike and then retake as soon as the plan came down. But I think Zone just got a little bit too many picks there for TSP to be able to really utilize their retake effectively.
It was also just really smart counterplay. They knew that Zone that they would have to be pushing in, so Zone just got over aggressive and gave his life away for that express purpose there. Basically, 1 kill, 1 fight, 1, excuse me, so far by SNHU, but it goes the other way as well. 3-3 now. Several members left. Wheezy trades 1 more. That they don't realize the flank from Chris is coming in, but the spike is down. He stays to duel, but he wins the next gunfight. Wheezy gets that one. And now it's a 1 versus 1, but Lon is already in the perfect position to make this one work, but he might be mispredicting where Wheezy went. He's holding for the spike.
They're both mispredicting right now.
This is Charlie's Angels stuff right now, back to back. In mid, will he make any noise? Will he check this corner? It looks like he won't.
Oh my goodness!
Right to him, Lon. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker slipping right past him, giving that one up to Wheezy, and 1 round left again. That 8-4 split. That's what SNHU are fighting for. Sometimes
luck's just on your side, and I think Wheezy had it there. Both players didn't have any clue where either was. Both of them, their predictions were just off quite a bit. I think they might have had known that Spike was still in window, but Wheezy wasn't playing for Spike at all. He was playing for info. He was playing for the pick to get the kill, and it worked out for him there. And that was, honestly, it was a great round for both sides. They traded quite a bit there mid, and you're just seeing a constant battle for mid, right, as both teams are trying to apply as much pressure as possible.
I want to see SNHU kind of get the better of Lon because of this constant aggressive play he has. Here he comes in again with Hunter's Fury to back it up. Will Wheezy get hit? No, but zoned. will find Lon. They finally stop this super aggressive flank play from him, and now they can kind of choose whatever site they want. Snare took a little bit of damage, but they removed a hard lurker that they've been playing into, and I wonder if they know that A side is relatively free and they can make their move.
I think they're playing scared here just because they know that this team likes to push off of info. They saw it last round as they got flanked from mid window. I mean, even the long player push, so they're playing a little bit slower, making sure they're watching every corner. But now we're attack site as fast as they can, and unfortunately, we just get hurt if they're on site. And it looks like it's tough take here for SNHU.
Yeah, that one's going to go the way of Dominguez Hills. The crazy fast rotation as soon as that turret gave them the info. I mean, the Jet used a dash just to rotate into position faster. The Jet dashed in upper with the op just to be able to take that angle a little bit earlier. And I mean, 8-4 wouldn't be an easy slash line to go against. Neither is 9-3. So we're going to have a basically almost flawless defensive round, similar to what Dominguez Hills were able to do.
Yeah, I really want to see them almost play a similar game to the CSU. And we talk about this a lot, but being aggressive on defense isn't always a bad thing. We see it sometimes from plays like Snare, maybe from Wheezy. They like to push out. They like to get aggressive. They're very confident in their aim. And with that, you get free information. I think anybody that pushes C long, you're going to realize, hey, there's no one coming C. Anybody that's pushing A long, hey, there's no one coming A. And they're just playing aggressive towards mid, understanding that, you know, if they're going to play here, we're going to play with them. So I want to see SNHU do that as well.
Lon is continuing his aggressive play, though, here. You can see him already fairly far up right now. But Snare is kind of equaling it right now. Well, they realize that Jade is so close. How much longer does this dark cover have? They definitely don't have that info on him. You know the ult orb's getting picked up. How much longer does this dark cover have? Not that long. Misses the right click initially, unfortunately, but it is still a 1-for-1. But Bobik knocks it a little bit more to their side. They take this C site effectively for free, and now they're in a retake with several members lurking to catch them on these rotations. Turret gets picked off, as does the alarm bot. How does this fight go for Zoned? It does go his way. He's very low, though. Bobik guarantees that finishing kill there as they push out the breach flash, knocks them down, and basically confirms that 100% for the members of Dominguez Hills. That breach utility is really punishing the members of SNHU. The single duelist comp is continuing to show its worth.
They're definitely getting a lot of utility here from the Sova and the Breach. And a map like Haven, it's a very big map, but they're able to... I just look at them and they look so experienced on this map. We saw them just play a very split game there, having 2 towards C, 2 towards B, 2 towards A. And it's really tough for SNHU to actually rotate off of any sort of information because they're playing like this. I think we saw SNHU rotate there, but we saw CSU get a free plant on C because of it. They got both ult orbs and they got the plant. They're getting so much value off this map right now. It's ridiculous.
And the flashbang. Again, that flash plus the jet push. Very, very hard to answer here with SNHU with the force buy backing up from that. Get the flash. We'll get that one as well. So 2 kills thanks to this force buy that SNHU have picked up so far, but they've been forced again to abandon that C site. They'll have to rotate a long way back around now, and we'll see what choice of positioning they take here. And the Killjoy is in a very good position to stop this rotation. Will they even check this corner? They might have an inkling that he's there. They bait him out. Perfect kiting there, but he's traded out by Bobik sitting on that right side. Can't get a ton of healing, though, from that Soul Orb on the ground. Just have to play it for the rest of it. They know where Dongle is. They're going to burn him down, and it's only Bobik left on the Jet walking through Garage. They'll start the defuse, and I think they'll be able to pretty much stick it, depending on where it is. Here comes the push now. He's going to have to run all the way for it. Jade's in position to stop him. And another round goes the way of SNHU. That force buy really pays off when you can win those gunfights in the middle.
Agreed. I'm glad that they kind of played an unfamiliar round of buying there. We see SNHU especially, and I think most teams just save after that first round, depending on if they win or lose. But that was a smart play there from SNHU. I think they're able to utilize their weapons well. I think they're going to be taking the bonus here. I hope this works out. We're going to see CSU also save, I think. Either half buy or save. So it's going to be similar guns with some of these SMGs in the mix. But it should be a good round.
Actually, look at Dominguez, though. Bobik did so well. He's able to get the Blade Storm, so I think that's kind of how they make up for it. But they are just running Frenchie down. It looks like he's getting forced in all the way on the site, surrounded. Somehow the team is there to peel for him. This Blade Storm's there. Zone caught, though, with his flash in hand as Bobik continued to run through. Wheezy's flank is, I think, going to be very key here, along with Jade now being able to go with him and potentially get a refrag. The health is so low on Chris. If he gets even a point of damage, it's a big plus to his team. They'll push that Marshall. He won't get a chance to work that one out. ADS, how much will they get from it? Enough to kite away and redo it. Here comes the heal. They know that he's there, but those Blade Storms get the reset and a third kill for this Jet on their side. The one duelist. If you only have one, you got to pull his weight. And I think Bobik is basically tugging an entire ton behind him right now.
Definitely getting so much value here from just their entire comp. They're playing very well, hitting a lot of shots. Their duelist is putting in a lot of work, but their utility is just so strong on this map. They're getting a lot of info, and they're just playing fast. They like to play a fast game. I think we saw Zone there just get picked by preparing to flash, and before he even got his ability out, he just got pushed by the Jet. They're playing super fast. They're playing very up-tempo, and they're just playing a really smart game.
And it's paying off for them so far, and we'll see if Zone can maybe kind of temper that pace with his Bucky play in mid, plus Snare kind of forward. Can he even shoot that recon? It looks like no, but it won't even read him, and Bobik doesn't even seem to care that Snare is up there on top. Now Weezy able to heal back up a little bit from that damage he took. Snare does get one in a second. Good from him, with Zoned also getting great information for them here. See how much further they decide to take it. All three members now running out of B into mid, trying to spray through the wall at people they think are pushing. They are correct, but they don't have that info quite yet. But A has been abandoned relatively for this. They will be walking into some tripwires, of course. But they have to get ready to go fight them on A, because they're going to walk into a site completely for free if they don't.
They're going to get the info here from the break. They're going to have to clear every corner because they have no idea where SNHU is. But SNHU has a good opportunity here to retake site. It's going to be a 5-2 situation. Surprised we didn't send anybody back towards A to watch. But if they play together here, if they go for trades, it's going to be a fairly easy retake.
Snare in a gunfight, and Chris wins it for him. Here comes the stun from the breach. Won't kill anything, but here we have three members kind of pushing through the same choke point. Chris is still very, very low, and maybe gets one, can't find one. Here comes the swing from Dongle, and he can't get more than one, of course, with the entire squad rolling up. You're not going to get a chance to make that one work. Still, SNHU's economy takes a bit of a hit. It's Snare's economy too, but everybody shares in the wall. Their economy takes a bit of a hit, but they managed to steal it another round away from Dominguez.
They're looking good here on the defensive rounds. I'm liking how they're playing. They're hitting a lot more shots, and I think it's just they're taking a little while to get into the groove of things, get their aim under control. Some nights, some players might just be on their game, and some nights it might take a little bit of a slow start to get into it. But we're finally starting to see Snare, Wheezy hit some of the shots that they're used to hitting, and I think it's going to take a little bit longer, but we should start to see some of our other players start to pick up as well.
Yeah, I think the really slow start from Jaden Snare is now finally winding up for them. But look at this play they have here. They're completely countering their play. Frenchie is just spraying an LMG over there, knocked low and low. They knew that they like to do this really aggro C takes. They pop another player over here, and they rotate away, but they're, again, kind of completely abandoning A, but there's the adaptation. It's the camera in A long that's down there. Thanks to Jade, we'll see if he can get some good intel from that one. They will be able to know if they're rotating back, and what they know is that they're not there. I'm sure he didn't miss them, so B is the most likely position for them to be playing, and Wheezy seems to be ready off the back of that information. Lawn dangerously close, ready to flash himself in, it looks like. Couldn't see that, but he's still waiting for someone to get a little aggressive on him. Lawn, I think, might be hard stepping too. That could be why that info's there, but there come the pings. Here comes the aggression. Wheezy had the health to take that one, and he's holding on a potential overheal too, if he so chooses to take it.
30 seconds left.
We saw there from Wheezy. He was able to keep it there. He wasn't peeking overly aggressively or pushing through mid, as he likes to do quite a bit, but I think that was really smart play there. They do end up seeing, I think, a player A long, so they're going to be rotating back to A here. But just a really slow round here. I think the last couple rounds have been really slow. I told some of our players beforehand, unfortunate pickup there, but we want to try to control the pace of this game. This team likes to play fast. We want to slow down the pace as much as possible. Nice pickup here from Wheezy and Snare, able to pick up the round, and we just want to control the tempo of this game as much as possible.
And I think that the way that they did that is a way to get that tempo back in hand, right? The complete counter out of that super aggressive C push. The problem here, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, the way to do that is to commit snare to that side of the map. They're not going to do that every round. So if you try to get that read and it's wrong, maybe you freed up the rest of the map a little bit more for Dominguez to choose where they want to engage from.
Agreed. I think if we make the wrong call, it could be devastating. But I think right now I'm liking how SNHU's positioning their players around the map. We're having Snare kind of peek towards a couple of different angles. He's trying to get him a couple more gunfights that we're used to seeing him have and win a couple of these gunfights. But it was a great round last round, and I think if they're able to keep this up, then we could potentially win a few more here, if not win this first game out of a best of 3.
They have to have a 6-to-2 ratio, though, or excuse me, a 7-to-1 ratio if they want to really win it. Snare, though, wins that gunfight. Helping boost his KD ratio maybe a little bit closer to the win-loss that they're going to need. Weezy takes another one down as well. It was an aggressive peek from long A. They recognize that that's where they've been trying to take these angles. So he stays here, and he's looking for more. Lawn holding close to the right. Weezy's on the wrong corner, but he'll see that gun barrel if he keeps walking up. It looks like now that info gets given up to him, and Lawn has no idea. Right through the wall he goes. Weezy will be able to get away here for free. And, hey, he has the spike, too, so they can just control this area, and you guys don't really have a choice other than to look for some frags in the back.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good round here for SNHU. I think it was a save round from CSU, just noticing from some of their players here. But should be an easy round. Nice pickup here from Frenchie. It's going to be really tough here for the Jet to win this round. The Jet ended up buying a Vandal, though.
He might save it at this point. I think that's actually the play. I think you just sit back here and hold on to this Vandal, especially since you spent all those points to buy this skin anyway, right? He want to at least hold on to that another round longer. And he'll end up in a place where I don't know if anyone's going to check. I mean, you're all the way in heaven on A on the attack when the team is looking for you in their own spawn. Can't imagine. I'm not sure if Weezy saw him. Weezy might have seen him. I was going
to say, I wonder.
Weezy was looking there. No, it doesn't look like he did. I mean, again, who checks this? There's no way anyone actually checks that. So the Jet will get away with it. They think he might be in a corner. They are wrong, and they can hold on to that Vandal for one more round. I think it would have been a buy anyway. This just maybe helps Dominguez a little bit longer if they lose another round after this.
Agreed. And 11-7 here with a small comeback here from SNHU. We have a lot of momentum going towards SNHU's side, and we're finding a lot of early picks like CSU was on their defensive rounds. If we can continue this pressure and continue this momentum, we're looking pretty good. I'm liking our chances so far. I like this switch up from having Jade come over to C-Site. This might be a big factor. CSU looking to play towards maybe C-Site Garage.
Depends how this flash and dash goes, I think, more than anything, right? If they get really far in with this flash and dash, but they've already changed up their pace. Snare sitting in this dark cover instead. Do they have the ears on that push? It looks like they must. Through this breach hole, they're coming in spamming that box. They knew where Jade was going to be. So they have a long distance teleport now coming in. They are cleared completely off of that site. Where will they be moving? Jade catches Lawn attempting to do a flank as he tends to be one to do. The Omen actually TP'd, but Jade caught swapping weapons coming out of Garage. I feel like this could still be in the hands of SNHU. It's just a very heavy lift from these remaining players. If you can get this gunfight zone, tries to refight it, can't win the range. Fight the Vandal with an advantage there. Weezy getting shot from behind after this dismiss. That's going to be very difficult. No way. Dongle point blanks him, and Dominguez Hills end up one round away from closing out this map.
That was a really fast play there from CSU. I like the play a lot. Unfortunately, I don't like them winning these rounds. I am biased towards our players, but I thought they played that really well. I think they were just, as you said, they were spraying through the box, expecting there to be there. I like that play. It was a really heads-up play there, understanding some of the positions that these players would hold, but I thought the Cypher utility would be enough to stop their push, but no, they just did a site and was able to get that plant for relative ease.
I mean, they knew that it was usually only really Frenchie there, so I think they were willing to kind of shove through even with that intel. If they knew Snare was going to be there, they could win that. And another gunfight is won on the other side in a short. Bobik takes down Weezy. Weezy's been a big player for them. There's the reposition from the Jet and the Omen teleporting onto site. He's now over in hell. That information should be something that SNHU are privy to, just, I think,
planted.
by guessing on how they like to take these sites as well. Snare actually doesn't get flashed, but the flash forces him back. He won't be able to watch that with the operator. And these two players flanking, I think, are the ones to worry about. It looks like Snare's aware of it. It's something that CSU have been constantly doing. We'll see how much they can take advantage of it. There goes the duel. He crouches under it.
No.
But Frenchie gets the trade. It's still a 3 versus 3 now. Small advantage towards SNHU, but it's just zone remaining with a Hunter's Fury aiming him down. Will he push this? Is the Killjoy ready for it? It looks like maybe, but the Hunter's Fury is still tracking him. They're just going to run away and buy time. Force him back with the nanites. He'll take the damage from the nanostorm, but he won't get the kill. That's brutal. Only 59 health and 6 seconds that he has to stay out of sight. He's going to get detained because he doesn't break that lockdown. This bomb's going to go off. That is 100% certain. Dominguez Hills, they managed to take this first map starting on attack. They rolled with it. They carried that momentum. One little swing where they catch out Snare out of position, and they managed to lock that one up for themselves. After this, Ascent will be up next. Dominguez, they looked so prepared for that map, but how much can you reasonably prepare for all the maps you're going to play in a BO3? I think they looked like flawless on that map almost.
I agree.
Going into map 2, Ascent does kind of tend to be a SNHU specialty.
It does, and it looks like a strong map for them too. I'm not gonna lie. After watching some of their VODs, seeing how they play on this map, they're definitely well trained on this map as well. So it's gonna be an interesting map. It's one of our strongest. So I'm hoping that we could potentially see us both play well. But I want obviously SNHU to come out on top. And if we're playing well, if we keep playing well, like our second half, I think we can potentially come back here with this 2-0 or basically 1-0 deficit.
Well, we'll have to see what half SNHU comes out when we do go into map 2, but you have to go talk to them and make sure that we see that second half SNHU. We're going to give you a break to do that, and we'll see everybody watching on the other side. Welcome back in, everybody, to map number 2 of this best of 3 series between Southern New Hampshire University and California State University. Dominguez Hills Ascent will be the battleground for map number 2, with SNHU starting on the defensive side. Now, we were just talking during the break. I mean, obviously, you went and spoke to the team to make sure that everything was settled and they had their head on straight, basically, for map number 2 after taking a tough loss in map number 1. But we were mentioning that from the player perspective, the use of Dominguez Hill's utility was just phenomenal from start to finish for that map.
Definitely. I talked with the players. They're getting flashed over and over and over again. Really tough to have these gunfights, but there's ways to try to stop those. Obviously, one of the most simple ways is just to look away from the flash. It's really hard to do so with Breach. Just
is it that easy?
I mean, yes. You can look away.
Just look away.
Obviously, but it's so difficult against like an agent like Breach whose flash comes out in less than a second. It's so difficult to do so. But I told the guys just either wait to push or peek them before the flash actually happens. And the timing's gotta be perfect if they're gonna want to have these gunfights. But it's gonna be tough. It's something that's just in the meta right now. They have to get used to it if they're going to want to be playing more competitively, and especially if they want to beat tonight's team.
Yeah, it's going to be something that they're going to have to figure out. And I'm not sure if you could hear that, but I certainly could. Agent selection was happening in the background, so I'm assuming we're going to be headed into Ascent pretty shortly. And I'll assume that the teams have decided their comps, and they have. We'll see something pretty standard from SNHU. It's about what we saw last time, and we'll see the same coming out from Dominguez Hills. They'll maintain their utility-heavy single duelist Breach, Jet, Flash, and Dash composition, while SNHU will hold on to their tried and true double duelist plus the Killjoy. So everyone's on some level of comfort here. See if that pays off for the members of SNHU, but we know that it'll pay off for Dominguez Hills. It's about how SNHU can deal with that utility here. 12 seconds left. Dominguez Hills look like they're going to start in either mid or A. Which one do you think would be the better choice for that team?
I think a lot of teams, I think we talked about this either last week's stream or almost every week, is a lot of teams favor A site on this first round push, and is why we see Jade actually coming over to A site first round. But we're seeing all of SNHU practically hovering towards the mid A site, so this is going to be a really tough gunfight here for both teams.
Yeah, great reaction, actually, from Snare, but he still can't win the gunfight. Jade, though, his nanites managed to take down that Omen. We actually see a player swap. The Sova went to the Jet, so interesting little change. Bobic now playing that Sova. Looks like they make a little bit of a change for this map. Not a lot of great health on SNHU, but headshots can still win the day, especially with Ghosts in hand here. But they're looking for those pen shots. Frenchie and Jade are just trying to duel, trying to chip away at their health, but Jade is now incredibly low. See what the shock dart gets. They get that recon bolt destroyed, and then the reveal comes in. So he might just dive through the floor. It looks like Jade slightly kites him. Can he hit this? No, just traces a line around his head, and Chris for the win. Gets the first round locked down again for Dominguez Hills. He did the same thing on Haven, so we might see a repeat. History decides to go the same exact way.
Definitely could. As I said before, they are no joke. They definitely have a strong Ascent game as well. I think we saw something really powerful there. That was, I don't know if it was unnoticeable for some people watching, but there was a one-way there for Hell onto underneath Heaven there for CSU to actually kill, I think, Snare that was playing Hell, but it was a really good angle to shoot on, and it was forced kind of the rest of these players to play back and miss a lot of these gunfights that they usually are winning.
Look at Jade right now. Just caught flashed over and over and over. Actually knocks DCMH down to 8 HP. So getting him very low, but they flood into the site, and those nanites do a lot, but not quite enough. They will try to burst into the site, but they have a Bucky there. Lawn is tearing them apart. Snare with the shorty gets one. Dongle evens it out right away. Quick ones, shotguns, exactly what Dominguez Hills needed to put another round on the board.
I think Breach is what I'm going to start playing in my solo queue game.
But no, I don't even know if that's right though, Sutan. It's solo queue, yeah. Are your solo queue teammates going to follow up on your Breach flashes?
It's true. I would say it's very difficult to play off of your own flashes, but a lot of high-level breaches can do it. The timing's there. Sometimes you maybe have to waste one more flash, but the flash, it lasts so long. It's such a short cooldown, such a short time to actually look away from this flash. I think it's just such a strong agent right now in the meta And honestly, if anybody's looking to climb, it's not a bad agent to pick at all. Nice pickups here from Wheezy, able to hold down A-site.
Wheezy over here on the side getting 2 players for Dominguez Hills as they come in now. SNHU have a number advantage, and maybe they'll push to deny this defuse. They'll deny the teleport at the very least. Jade can't win that fight, but Frenchie will even it out fairly quickly. Only 1 member remaining. It is going to be Chris for the win.
Out of charges.
With Frenchie the closest to the site, waiting, it looks like, for Zone to go in, but a little bit too far forward. They didn't know that Chris was there. Now they're going to push forward. It is a bonus round. Bonus will be failed. 2-1 will be how this ends for SNHU. Small misstep by Frenchie, but when you have pure numbers like that, you can afford to make minor mistakes.
Yeah, I think that was it's a mistake that you can forgive. Most players assume that the Killjoy likes to play in wine after in the post plan just for the free utility damage off of the swarm, but it was a nice position there to play Gen. It was kind of unpredictable on the enemy Killjoy's part, so it was a nice pickup. Nothing to be ashamed of, I would say, from Frenchie, but nice pickup there from SNHU. Able to take the 3rd round, unlike the last game, and now it's a 1-2. Both teams, I think, have guns now.
Yeah, the first full buy round, so we'll be able to get a really good, I think, test of how the tempo will be going here. Wheezy pretty far forward, getting revealed by that recon bolt, so he will have to bail. Play over here. Still on A site, still with Snare. No real aggressive play so far from the members. I like that TP from Lawn. I like that little bit of a surprise angle, but unfortunately for him, no one really there to contest. Except Frenchie with the Ares, who might be going in for this. He sees DCMH, though. He doesn't want to take that long-distance fight. He will back up, and SNHU will continue this very slow-paced play.
I think Frenchie also saw the Omen here on this, actually.
I think he just did on the jump.
Yep. And unfortunately, the Killjoy turret still hits Frenchie as he's jumping back over there. They're playing really slow, kind of split game towards A-site here. I think they was realizing this now as they have Killjoy come over. Snare does get picked up on this fight, but he's got the damage here on CSU.
Here comes the flash onto him. He has to back up. Some people revealed on site, but no shots to actually penetrate and get any kills. Now 2-2 will be the split currently for SNHU. They'll have to get a kill soon. They don't know that DCMH is maybe here, but here comes the breach utility. Obviously, everyone's far back. Are they ready to react in time? They are. The Ares helps Frenchie get that one as he walks over Bobek. Pretty far away now, gets blocked by the dark cover, though. Dongle with a double. Wheezy evens it out, and now it's all Wheezy against 2. He can't see that line. We can. He doesn't know where Bobek is, but he sees that jump. Maybe pushes forward, but he has the read on it. Dismiss. Let's rotate into sight. He can play aggressive. Chris is staring down this angle. But it doesn't matter. Wheezy gets 4, flips it around, and will even up that score right away. The power of Reyna. Doesn't matter how hard you nerf her. She's got an Empress. She's got the orbs, and she's got the round in hand for SNHU.
Great reaction speed from Wheezy. What a nutty clutch play there. I really didn't like Frenchie pushing up for that gun. I think he got a little bit baited. I would have liked to see him play a little safer, maybe reload the Ares and then go for the gunfight. But maybe that was a part of the play for Wheezy to actually get some more space towards the door. But not a bad round there at all. Great clutch from Wheezy. And now we're 2-2, and I'm not sure how the economy though is for SNHU. I know that they just bought. I'm not sure if they still have guns.
Get out of my way.
I know Wheezy has a gun. So we're watching him. We'll see what he does here. He's not really on the right side of the map to help, or at least not in the right spot to help them out. The lockdown comes in from the Killjoy, though. Will he play aggressive to try to stop them? Will he play to get detained? Either way, he's going to have to move pretty quickly with only 5 seconds left on this lockdown counter. Here comes their push, but they have all moved in. But the nanites on Snare up top. Brutal. Denying that. They still got 1 in response here, but they are holding back. Still in areas for Frenchie, though. Clearly confident enough to buy this weapon as he face checks Hell with it here. Will he peek out? Sees Dongle. Dongle not ready for that one. Frenchie gets 1. There goes the recon actually getting a lot of reveals, but they are flooding into sight. Frenchie with the LMG couldn't get that kill, but he's just setting up for Wheezy to get all of them again. Line them up and knock them down. 3 with the Vandal. Wheezy coming in from tree. Now we'll get that defuse, and I mean, he can't keep getting away with it, right? He's getting these kills. He's getting the rounds for SNHU, but SNHU can't just say, all right, Wheezy, kill 3 every round. It's not that easy.
It's not. I think you're completely right. But sometimes there's a hero of every match, and for right now, it's Wheezy. Wheezy is definitely popping off. He's definitely hitting some of these shots, and we've seen Wheezy have some of these nutty nights. I'm completely fine with having him have another right here, right now. Anybody can be stepping up, but right now, Wheezy is definitely doing so, and he's playing a great game.
Well, hopefully for SNHU's sake that can continue, but we know Dominguez Hills are a very talented team. Have a chance to flip that around. Does he peek this? He does. Gets a little bit of information. The recon bolt will force him back to his snare, loses that duel. Aggressive and A long. Does he shift back now? I wonder if the gameplay from them changes, but he doesn't shift back. He stays aggressive and he wins that duel. Now Weezy pushing the smoke. He is really feeling himself. You see him in sight, but maybe feeling himself a little bit too much. Lawn has the read on that one, picks him off. They're going to rotate that spike back to A, and I think they definitely need to move their team here. Are they going to catch this Omen? It looks like they deny that teleport at the very least, so there goes the Omen ultimate from Dominguez Hills. But they're slowly walking here. I still don't think they think they have a hard read, but they have to heal this plant now, and here comes the Hunter's Fury from the Sova. Can't stop the plant, but it can get one kill. That will completely equalize these numbers. And Zoned, actually, look at this. Look where he teleported. He's way behind him. That's going to be a great position for this retake when they decide to do it, Jade. The tree will put the turret down. That'll give some info as they do the lockdown for this as well. But he has to win this fight. He's blinded by the breach.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
no.
Great timing by Dongle to get that one, but it is still a 2-on-2 with him checking hell. Frenchie loses the duel, though, so it's all unzoned. He knows he's low. He knows he's back there. He's going to try to pen him, just barely missing him. Gets that one. Knows Dongle's there. Can he win it? No, Dongle turns that one back for the team. Will equalize that. And SNHU, I think the fact that they were buying every round when Weezy was clutching, I have a feeling their economy is not... I feel like it's not going to be too hot for this one, and they're still holding on to pistols, and now have a Bucky in hand, which I think runs with that.
Yep, I definitely agree. I think it's going to be tough here for their economy. We're going to see some sheriff buys from SNHU as well, but I think CSU is doing a really good job of, I think, stopping Snare's defense here on A side. He's having some trouble here holding sight just because of the utility that he's using. We're going to see the ultimate come out from there as well.
Yeah, look at that. That stun really denies this aggressive push they were trying to do. They have the Blade Storm coming in. They're used to go one of the ultimates, but look at that one. He runs back, though, into the Hunter's Fury snare. No!
No.
They had to know he was using it. And now they have a little bit of intel here. Weezy, though, cannot swing that Sheriff back around to get that kill in time. It's all on Frenchie, 1 versus 4 with this, and it looks like they have a very good idea of where he's standing right now. Penned right through that box. Phobic with a great round. He gets 3, even if 1 might have been a little bit less on him and more on Snare. Dominguez Hills get another round.
I think Snare was just a little scared there. He kind of was blinded half of the time. Got the pick on the breach, fortunately, but didn't really know what was happening. Knew he was taking damage and just wanted to dash the heck out of that angle. Unfortunately, it was right into the hands of the Sova ultimate, but not a bad play there from both teams. It was just a save round for SNHU. And I think CSU just made a really good effort there to push up mid, get some info, and win a lot of their gunfight.
Yeah, it worked out for them. Look at that. Was that a shock dart knocking DCMH to 3 HP?
God.
Great lineup. And that'll help them later in the round. And doesn't even matter. Knocked onto his face. An aggressive flank by Weezy. He finds 2. Clutchmaster now won't be alive for his team, but helps things out a little bit. They get some more intel on the breach player in mid, as Jade and Snare are still holding down on this A site. They've shifted Jade over off of that B site to play as utility here, but with this push in mid, it looks like Dominguez might have the read on it. We'll see what information Frenchie can get to the team as he watches them from a long distance away. He sees 1, backs off, maybe sets up Zone to drop that dark cover. And maybe I'd like to see Zone walk a little bit further into the site and be able to stop them instead of potentially just playing for retake.
I agree. It's a 4v3 situation. He could always give up sight here, which he might be looking to do so, and then they could try to have a 4v3 retake situation. But we'll see what he plans to do. If he gets a pick here on the entry for them, it's going to be huge, which he does. He ends up getting 2 there. It's going to be a 3v1 situation for SNHU. It's going to be hopefully a good retake here.
It was a great spray. It was great spray control by Zoned as well, and now 1 versus 3. Lawn has pulled these off before, but this is a much different position than his usual flanks that he tends to play in. Can he win this first one on Snare? Nobody gives his information away, and there comes the flood from the left side. Lawn completely overwhelmed as the dam breaks. SNHU kick down the door. The rest of the defuse will go to Frenchie for that economy little boost for him. The ult point, excuse me, specifically. Another round on the board for SNHU, and it's tied up 4-4. Already more rounds than they got on their first half in the first map.
Yeah, they're definitely looking a lot better here on defense, at least on Ascent. I said it before the game started, and I'll keep saying it. Ascent is definitely one of our maps. It's something that we feel comfortable on. It's got a classic kind of setup to some of these maps in tactical shooters, and I think it feels the same way probably for CSU. It's just one of those standard maps, 2 sites, mid control kind of map, and both teams kind of feel pretty comfortable on it. I would say Haven might have been a little bit more comfortable for CSU, but both teams here trying to utilize as much of their information on this map as they can. I mean, we saw Frenchie's shock dart from last round and how effective that was. So I think both teams here are playing really well, and they just understand the map pretty well as well.
I'm a little worried about Frenchie here. He doesn't see those 2 players really close to him. He pushes out. He gets flashed, so he knows they got to be close as he holds this, but knocks back at the end, not ready for it. And the shock dart actually hits him too, so Frenchie just existing could have just walked AFK and would have burned all that utility. But here comes the breach flash with Snare trying to play on this flank, but this nanostorm will deny his ability to push that angle. Does this Jet C? Doesn't matter. Snare still wins that duel. 3 versus 4 now. Health advantage slightly in favor of SNHU with that lower player that they have for them. Dongle got chipped a little bit earlier, but here comes the Empress. That's a confidence play there. Attempted teleport and flank. Got some intel for his team, though, and there comes the breach ultimate. Forces them away. That Rolling Thunder won't find anything. 3 players trying to take side from the same angle. The crossfire is being watched. Wheezy can't win that one. 2 versus 4. 1 versus 4. And Jade is stunned. He at least knocks one out. But Dongle, the breach, really playing well that round. Lots of utility, flashes, stuns, anything that can make SNHU uncomfortable allows Dominguez Hills to get their 5th round.
And that's what utility is, really. It's just making the other team uncomfortable, I would say. And it's definitely doing the most it possibly can here for CSU. They're definitely making SNHU look a little uncomfortable as they're trying to retake these positions, as they're trying to hold some of their normal angles, and it's kind of forcing SNHU to say, like, hey, I gotta play completely different angles than what I'm used to because they're just hitting me every time I'm trying to peek them. So it's definitely looking a little challenging here for SNHU, but if I know anything, it's that they are very adaptable. They should be able to change a lot of how they play. They should be able to change how some of their methods are, and they should be able to hopefully be able to keep CSU reeled in until the end of this game.
Well, stuck with an eco, it's hard to adapt when you can't really play that range. And now here comes the adaptation from Dominguez Hills. They are cutting completely over to that A side as these Sovas potentially meet in mid. There they go. The rifle, of course, will win that one. Bobic taking only a little bit of damage as both of these shotguns now will have to cross the entire world effectively to make it over to the other site. And you don't save, right? You don't save with a Bucky and a Shorty. You got to make something happen. Again, maybe they hurt the economy a little bit, but they're going to have to walk through a lot of tight angles being held, and there's one right there. Bobic takes the wide one. Can't win against that Bucky zone. At least managed to pick up a stinger and gets that. Could pick up and save this rifle, but obviously they are close by. They know he's there. Lon actually got 3 kills that round, so great play from him, and Dominguez are pushing this half even further. It could still get tied up by SNHU, but the first they're looking like a very solid first half team.
Definitely agreed. I think their attacking side is just looking really strong right now. They're hitting a lot of these early picks, and obviously this utility is helping them tremendously. These flashes on site, making it really difficult for SNHU to hold just in general. But I think I really like their slow play. I think on Haven, they're looking like a much faster paced team, which is surprising because a lot of players or a lot of teams have to play slow on that map. But now we see them here. They're playing a lot of very slow, natural game, waiting for SNHU to kind of push out through some of these angles and then trying to get some of these picks. But Frenchie here, nice pickup here on Dongle, able to get the breach out early. And now they're not going to have to worry about some of these mines that they usually are.
And Jade does the same too. Jade manages to clean up one, so it's going to be a 4 versus 3 with that trade onto Wheezy, who got caught out there. But now Frenchie's stuck in this corner, and they're going to know whenever he decides to rotate, and this Nanostorm barely surviving it. I'm sure they're finding out right now. They know where he is. There's no other place he could possibly be in this recon, but well, guaranteed he drops into another Nanostorm, but that is a lot of utility just to get rid of one player stuck there on the back, but Bobic gets 3. Are you kidding? Just walks into mid and takes down everybody. It's all on Snare now, and he's going to have to take into a completely perfect site. Hold by them. That round started out so good from SNHU, but look what they have to walk into now. One Sova swings things so hard in the other direction.
Was Zone the one TPing there on Omen, or was that CSU.
I believe so.
What the heck was he doing? Okay.
You're the coach, you tell me.
I have no idea. I'll have to look back at that because I couldn't tell if that was him or if that was the other Omen, but I was like, what is he doing? But all right. CSU definitely looking really strong here on their attack.
Great shot.
Unfortunately, I thought SNHU had that round as well, but I think they came back here with their lower numbers. They just played fast to look for their trades and ended up getting these picks on the entry.
Apparently, it's worth it to spend all that utility on Frenchie because they just win the round every time they do. Spend everything. Yeah. Throw. How many ults can you hit Frenchie with? Let's find out this round. What do they have? They have the Hunter's Fury. They have the Blade Storm. Maybe he'll just get Hunter's Fury in mid, and then Dominguez Hills will win this round. Only time will tell. As they set up here, it will be similarly mid-sided, but there is one difference. If they Hunter's Fury that corner, it will be empty. Frenchie has moved himself over to that B site, clearly as an adaptation, but Snare, they're so aggressive. They run in off that paranoia. So forward is Snare right now. He gets two, pushing into them. It does get evened out pretty quickly, thanks to that Operator and that Vandal being held, and Dominguez still have their ultimates. Here comes that lockdown as well, but it is countered out. It is the last half, of course, no reason not to spend it. Here's the knock-up, though, onto Jade. That CC does finally wear off. Both members have to run away. It's a free site. It's free and clear, and Wheezy's ready for this rotation. And there's that information. They know no one's there. They know they have a chance to walk back into the site. Will SNHU take it is the question. You can see them waiting very patiently. I think they should know they have the ability to come back in, but they're playing slow. One tree, one heaven, one lurking far away in mid. But it doesn't look like Dominguez Hills will be changing their mind anytime soon.
I'm liking this. They're just playing slow here. They're waiting for this info for them to push out here.
Scanning ahead.
Does he know that
here from the
there? Grievon Bull, it's perfect! Frenchie, oh, if he didn't get that kill, I would have been shocked. Now they flood into the site. Jade gets one, loses out to Dongle, but Wheezy will trade it out. But there's a door in the way. Dongle gets two. It's down to a 1v1. This flash has to be great. He knows he's somewhere close by. Here's the reload. Can he win this duel? They're both so low. He pulls out the classic instead of taking the fight. Breach uses that utility. How close will he hold? Close enough. Wheezy with the classic. Getting some practice in for next round because this half's over. It is 7-5 advantage to Dominguez Hills, but now SNHU get to be on the attack.
I was a little worried there. I didn't know what was going to happen. once we saw that door closed, I was really scared. I was like, oh no, he's not going to be able to come in for the trade. But nice 1v1 there from Wheezy, and a nice recon dart from Frenchie. Definitely, I think, was a round changer there. If he hadn't known that Omen had TP'd up there, it would have been really tough to see him out of that smoke, and he could have potentially got picked there. So really good round there for SNHU. Able to take at least 5 rounds here. I would have liked to see us get the 7-5 split, but still not bad here on defense, and it's still a really close game heading into the second half.
Yeah, attack, of course, things can change. We'll see. One thing that is kind of the same, though, across these teams, we're seeing killjoys on A for the first round. We saw it a little bit later as well from Jade, but we'll see if that holds true here. Very aggressive positioning by Chris, who gets just a little bit of eyes here, and it looks like they are confident that SNHU is not going to be heading towards B. The Sova has completely abandoned its site, is effectively empty, other than that breach player playing a little bit of a hybrid. That turret goes off, and that should be the alarm bell ringing. If the alarm bot wouldn't be enough for that one. It's a very different change of pace from what we're used to seeing in pistol rounds, though. They're just waiting for anybody to peek.
Agreed. I think maybe this is a little bit of info gathering from SNHU here to see really what CSU wants to do. But I mean, just watching them in general, CSU is just rotating so quickly off of either info or no info. I think they used the Sova Dart to check B main, B garage area, and we saw them rotate both of those B players off of B immediately. They're utilizing their info really well, and they're kind of banking on SNHU pushing A here as they're kind of hovering towards it, but they don't really know for sure. We see the Sylvan reach for that attack towards me.
Do you think they wasted too much time, though? Do you think they wasted too much time? Look at them having to walk through this nano storm. They take only a little bit of damage for it, so this is a huge advantage, I think, in pistol rounds with Wheezy just spraying into that. Here comes the conk. Zoned, of course, will stick that, but the nano storm, again, does quite a bit for them. Wheezy gets this one, will heal himself actually back up from that. Duel goes the way of Lawn, though. Bobik also finds one of his own. Here comes the flash from above. Snare can't really fight it quite yet. He saw that one, but the spike is down, and it's all on Jade now, and he's so far. He's not even close enough. They couldn't get that spike down. All that utility was there. Against that single duelist team, I don't think you could afford to wait that long, Suton. They had so many ways to stall, buy time, and there wasn't enough left.
I think I have to agree with you. It's just when you have the doubles duels team, what you really want to utilize is playing fast. You want to try to play fast, go off of your entry's positioning and play, either have those two play in a certain spot or play with them together for a 5-man fast execute. I kind of do like the patience, but maybe it was just a little too long. It's really what you have to do though off of those engages, off of those first couple of gunfights for your team.
Oh, look at this recon plus the stun. Bobik with the LMG picks off one, and the Marshall on the other angle gets two.
No.
DMCH. Ridiculous play as he gets a third. Just watching this long angle in main, and Lon runs him down. Insane positioning by them, read like a book. The members of SNHU, the utility combo into the crossfire angle. This Marshall will remain in DMCH's hands, and why not after a performance like that?
Right now, it's looking really tough here on the side of SNHU. I mean, we're seeing some of these players that we usually see. I mean, we see Snare usually at the top of the leaderboard. He's not having a great night for himself, and I have to say it has to be because of these flashes. It's so hard for these players to utilize the great aim that they have when you're flashed and you can't even see anything going on your screen. So I think CSU is utilizing their utilities so well right now. It's absolutely really tough here for SNHU to take these rounds. Every round is hard fought.
You're definitely playing the hero shooter side of Valorant very effectively, as well as the tactical shooter side. I mean, they're doing a little bit of everything. They're making it work zoned. Though playing his tactical shooter side in mid finds that one pen kill. They get a second one as well. Here comes the push onto Chris, but the Marshall headshot deletes Wheezy. DCMH, I'll say his name right this time, does get that one pick, but won't get another. SNHU will be able to go onto the site, get this plant down. It's all in the breach. We've seen Dongle get 3Ks before, though, so again, not completely out of hand for the Dominguez Hills breach. But how much utility is going to be in the way? It looks like there is a nano storm, I want to say, up top. What will Jade be able to put down? This turret that will give away that a little bit of info to him. And Frenchie will peeking him early. There goes the stun. Looks like Frenchie caught out from it. Doan looking for that. Loses it to Dongle, but he only has an SMG. The distance play will be what lets SNHU continue to take that advantage. 3 rounds separate the teams. Dominguez Hill's defending side looks lethal.
And I was going to say, I really like zone there. Hitting the toes of the closing door on the enemy player was really nice. Able to squeak that in right before the door closed and made it a 3v1 situation instead of the 3v2. Nice play there from SNHU, and I like the post plant there too. A lot of positioning was really good. I think something that they have to notice though, if they're going to take A site, is that Breach is going to keep flashing in Hell. If you're going to be peeking in Hell, you have to either be looking at a wall or you got to be looking somewhere else, because that Breach is going to be flashing you every single time.
Well, they're flashing in mid too, but they're way too far away to actually take advantage of that. I think the dark cover from zoned actually ended up dissuading that potential push for them. There's the flash dash combo, very aggressive in mid here, but a great recon bolt gives so much intel their way, including the position of Snare. Wheezy can't win the duel. Spray control a little bit better for Chris for the win. There's only one player left. It's Frenchie. He is blind. Still knows the map well enough to get away, but here comes the cannon. He'll get Dongle, but DCMH will equalize that one right away. 3 rounds away from protecting their undefeated record is Dominguez Hills SNHU. They were finding picks in some rounds, but that one looked dominant.
Yeah, that was definitely something really, really well played there from CSU. And I think something that we see from CSU's breach player that's just a strong skill to have is just how quick he's utilizing his utility. There's some players that, whether it's breach, whether it's Sova, whether it's one of these utility-based characters, they kind of get caught with their pants down. You know, they have their flash out, they have something out, and then they just get picked off for free. But we're seeing this from CSU's side. We're seeing the breach just quickly utilize the utility. Kind of throw it out there, kind of put off his whatever flash, whatever kind of utility he gets, and it's just working out for them.
It's working out very well for them as it sets them up for 2 more kills in mid. SNHU down to 3 already. There was a gunfight. It will be won by Dongle. Eventually, though, noticing the Aloe drone hasn't... Nope, never mind. It does see him, and he gets tagged, and he gets regunnable. All right, he has to run, but Dongle is on the chase, plus the flash. Perfect timing there. Jade wanted to equalize, but was not going to be able to. See if he can get the read on Dongle. Had the flash out. Yep,
There it
knows
is.
that that's going to be the breach. He might be able to get this gun, actually, but there's no way to know that the members are delaying so far behind. We'll get something. This Odin spraying on the corner. There comes the TP from Lawn. He's actually going to let it happen. Never mind. Doesn't want to. He canceled it himself, and there is the Odin spray from Bobik, guaranteeing that kill there. 3 members managed to survive that entire round, 11-6. Dominguez Hills are... I mean, I've never seen a team be this aggressive on the Ascent defensing side.
Yeah, they have a lot of momentum going their way, and I think they're kind of playing a little bit more up tempo just because they're hitting a lot more shots. They're definitely feeling themselves tonight, and they feel like they can push and be aggressive without being punished too much. And for SNHU, I think what they really want to do now is they want to wait for these pushes. They want to wait, and if they're going to push, okay, here, take the spot, take the space. We're going to kill you.
Look at this!
It's so tough with those flashes. Nice pick up there from Snare, and we're just seeing the same type of game style that I think you see on attacker side, but we're seeing it here on defense.
When do you ever see a gunfight happening here, Sutan? You don't see it happening that way. That's just the pace being in the hands of Dominguez Hills. You said it before. That's what you wanted the team to be worried about, right? Controlling the pace of the game. And it seems like Dominguez Hills have it by the throat. They're getting so aggressive on all of these rounds, all of these setups. That long distance breach flash. SNHU haven't even had a chance to spend an ultimate. They're sitting on 5 on their attacking side. I mean, I'm sure that this being potentially the final round, if things don't go their way, we're going to see something, at least a lockdown to attack a site, to zone out their members so they can maybe get a spike down.
Yeah, it's definitely working out really well here for CSU there. It's just this breach utility. That flash is so insane. That combo is so insane. It's really tough to watch it as the coach, but as a spectator, it looks so goddamn cool.
Interesting angle here. Look at Zone actually warping onto site. They are just spending ults here. That's 4 already. Only the 100 Sphere remaining, but an operator up top. Sova doing a great job up there. Playing the Archer for the team. Here comes the breach utility, forcing him in. I like that spike position. Frenchie did manage to take down that Sova. But Dongle gets another. It's 3-3 right now. The Nanostorm delaying, and there will be the 5th ultimate. Going to be hard to lose a push with 5 up, but they're making it possible here with that bit of damage. Here comes the shock dart. Here comes the push from them. 2-2. Only 1 player left, and he's stuck in the corner of hell. Do they have the information here? He can play on the bomb. Looks like they might have an idea. It's Jaden to 1-1 playing into an LMG.
No.
And Dominguez Hills the spray down. 3 kills for Chris for the win, and it will be for the win. Dominguez Hills protect their undefeated record, and SNHU's falls to the wayside. They just had perfect setups by them. And we're seeing this talk about on Twitter and on other just general Valorant media. This is the discussion people are having about the meta, right? Is it the 1 duelist? Is it the 2 duelist? And after watching that game, I'm finding it hard to argue against the single duelist heavy utility meta. It's just working.
I agree. I think it's something that we talked about as a team, and we wanted to play a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more for comfort picks. But I can't deny, like, just seeing how much utility, especially from the breach, it just looked so strong. It looked like especially that play towards blinds. How do you stop that? How if you're there and they get lucky and they predict that you're at blinds and you're ready to push towards mid, how do you realistically stop that? There's not many ways to do so. Astra?
I don't know how.
I don't know either.
Go astral form when you think they're gonna go. I don't know. Just have a stun waiting with someone holding it in astral. Stun them when they come in. Pull them back. Put a star around the corner, right, and do the suck star to pull them off of you. Maybe that's an option. I'm not sure if they can actually. I haven't played against an Astra yet. Can they shoot the star when it's on the ground? I don't think so. There's not really a lot of ways for them to interact against it, is there?
I don't think there is, but I don't know how. I mean, unless you have to predict that they're going to predict you going blinds with that. And there's so much mind games there. I think that would actually be quite interesting to see that gameplay and game style kind of play. But right now, it's just so difficult to deal with that. I mean, you can have the best gunplay characters or agents or even people in the world who have the best aim, and you can't do anything if you can't see on your screen what's going on. We saw 3 players get flashed there, and then you have the Jet that can just dash immediately, get those free picks, and it's so tough. It just kind of disorganizes the entire team. There's nothing you can really do.
It's just one of the ways to really pull apart a push piece by piece, Dominguez Hills were able to do that. And of course, like we said, they will protect their undefeated record. I can't imagine them going into the playoffs at any seed other than number 1, SNHU. We'll see how they can kind of recover from this one. We'll see how they adjust to the meta and other changes and things moving forward. So, of course, there will be more matches for you guys to watch. Make sure you tune into all of them. You should follow us on Twitter if you want to get updates on all of those matches. !Twitter in the chat if you want that. Join our Discord if you want to maybe communicate with the players. If you want to participate in our community game nights, which are going to be happening every single Saturday, 7 o'clock. So stay tuned for more of that. And, of course, follow us on Twitch if you want the quickest way to know whether we're going to be playing a match at any point in time. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on behalf of me, Sutan, and Joe on production. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.